Good morning. The sun's coming up. I have a 1.6 mile hike to the trailhead, then 4 miles up to Lake Kumo after that. It's 25 degrees out right now, but the high is 50. Perfectly clear day. So it's going to be a great day for a hike. Making some coffee, getting some eggs, getting ready. About to head out on the trail. Should be 5.6 miles up to Lake Kumo. Obviously, that back down. It's going to take me about 6 hours of straight hiking, and then I'm going to have lunch up there at the lake. There's a chance I hike a little farther up to Blue Lake because I want to get above 12,000 feet. So I think I need to hike a little higher than Lake Kumo, but I'm going to spend most of the day up there. It's gorgeous, all packed up and ready to go. I am going to take this time hiking all the way up there without recording anything, so I'll check in when I'm in Lake Kumo. I probably won't have any reception, so I probably won't check in, but I'll check in when I get back. I got All Trails tracking me, and I'm going to share my live updates to JJ and Mom. So we'll see how that works. Wish me luck. Well, I didn't even get a half a mile before having to pull the camera out and record something, but I mean, I am going to record if anybody drives by here because it's one of the hardest Jeep trails. So I think that's neat. Someone's driving up. I mean, they're just going to the camp right now. Who knows how far up they're going. But that's going to be pretty neat to see anybody 4x4 on the path here. It makes me jealous that you could just easily drive up there. I say easily. Nothing's easy about that. Ran in to a guy camping down there, that I talked to last night. And he said, hey, my buddy, he's out running. And later on, he's going to come back, and then we're going to go hiking. So I'll see you on the trail somewhere. And I'm like, no, wait, what? He's running? And he said, yeah, he's a madman. He's out running. And if you remember last night, I had all these strange lights running around. It was that guy. This is a pickup. Ain't no way he's making it too much farther. Here he comes, though. Made it to this sign that says 4 miles to the lake, and I guess that was 1.72 miles from where I parked. So here goes the 4 mile hike, and I'm feeling great. I am. It was a nice warm up hike, to be honest, and I'm glad I did it last night too. I followed my same footprints on the way up here, and there's nothing up here except some animal prints and me. So I think I have the lakes to myself, unless there's people that are really wild out there. Let me get going. Wouldn't it be cool to have the whole place to myself up there? And then let's get going. Okay, actually, there's someone else up here. And this guy wearing size 11 boots. And he's already been up here today. Here's the sign up here. Blanca Peak sign, maybe. Let's check it out. I'm not sure what you call it, but you see the markings right here. You know, just wearing those snow devices. Blanca Peak Road. And you better believe it. Look at this place. You ready? Not to beat a dead horse, but I just think it's good to notice things. I mean, you see the claws dragging. Need to get some of those. I'm pretty high up here. Not sure if you can see it, but Lake Kuma Road, all the way down to that highway. Mount Alamosa, way over there in the distance. 15, 20 miles. Got the Bianca wetlands right there. I'm looking at this 5 acres. Now there's a lot of open range right there that we're looking at. And after that open range, about 10 miles, there's 5 acres. Not totally sure what I'm looking at, but might be part of a campground or something. I see wood that's been sawed off. The road goes off in this direction. The main road, though, right there, goes up that way. I'm a little more than halfway. I'm still walking in this guy's footprints. He certainly has a big stride. Big guy, I guess, maybe 6 feet something, or he's running. He might be running, which I don't know how that's possible. I'm walking, hiking, whatever. I think this dude might be running all the way up here. Oh yeah, I have type 1 diabetes. Forgot to check myself, which I absolutely love when that happens. I know I'm fine because I can feel it. I'm probably perfect. I stopped. I'm gonna go ahead and take a reading here, see what I'm at, and got some supplies here, just in case I went low, which, hiking like this, you're bound to do it. I got layers of clothes here, and as I hike up and it gets warmer, I'm taking layers off and putting them away. You don't want to sweat in these situations. I'll check back in later. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 86. Can't ask for much better than that. It's great. Don't have to do anything, but I am gonna eat some snacks to keep my blood sugar up. I want it at a 100 here as I reach the lake so I can chill out. How you like to fit? Yeah. Check out that shirt. Took a little break. Let's keep it moving though. I love it out here. So beautiful. Thanks again. Because I need to get some of these.
The brand. I like these the most.
Oh yeah.
Don't get the ones that are like coils.
That was Wyatt. Nice guy. And by the way, as I said with the tracks, 6'2", size 11, and he had those spikes on his shoes and walking with walking poles. He just got back from the lake. He says this next part is a little bit taxing, but it's gonna be awesome. He said it was beautiful up there, so I can't wait. His friend Marshall is the one that I talked to down there at the base. Maybe I'll see those guys later on. Thanks, Wyatt, for following me on YouTube, and hope you like this video and any of the other videos that you checked out. Thank you very much. You might as well subscribe, because why not? I mean, look at me. I came all the way out here, do all this. I mean, it's not for, it is for you too, because I want you to subscribe, but it's for me. I came out here to do some heavy thinking. I got some decisions to make. And you know, when you're faced with big decisions, one of the best things you can do is to do nothing. Is to stop what you're doing and think about it. And really and honestly, if anybody asks you, hey, are you going to do this? Or are you going to do this for me? Or you can always say, give me a little bit of time to think about it so I make a good decision. No one's going to argue with that. And you can always at least sleep on it. I almost recommend never making a decision whatsoever without sleeping on it. Rambling a little bit. I wonder why. Keeps going out. It's all right. Got supplies. I rolled up 7 grams. Took a 100 milligram gummy earlier. I mean, I say earlier, it was 9 o'clock, whatever time it is now. Aha. That's right. Let's get it going. Woo! You guys, thank you, Wyatt. He has made it much easier on me getting to walk in his footprints. He did the hard work, packing a trail down for me. You guys, look at this freaking place. Oh, I wanted to get this down because I don't want to forget it. I don't know, it sounded pretty cool. And in a sense, me and Wyatt were talking about there and talking about, you know, how do you keep it simple in life, right? But a lot of people would take that as like, well, you don't do much, but that's not true at all. Keeping it simple means like you're keeping it simple, man. You're working at it hard to make sure you don't overuse, to make sure that you're doing the things that bring you happiness in life say, like coming out in nature and hiking, where, look at everything I get. And you know what it cost me? Nothing, zero. Not a single dollar to walk up here, to get all this beautiful exercise, to get all this brain therapy. It's right here. BetterHelp.com. I mean, it's great. That's great. I suggest it. If you need it, I suggest it. But at the same time, I mean, if you gotta sign up for that, if you can go through the actions of doing that and picking a counselor, you could also, you get out of the house. You just walk out the door. Just get in your car, drive to the first park, start walking. Listen to the birds chirp. Listen to the breeze blow through the branches of the trees. Hopefully listen to some water running. More than anything, just listen to the silence. We need silence. There's so much noise in life. It's everywhere. And everyone's telling you, hurry up. Go do this and go do that. Go make some money. Pay this bill, pay that. Do this, do that. Hurry up. Be on time. Out here, it's easier to slow down. And because of that, it's easier to slow your mind down. And we need to slow our minds down so we're not like rushing around making so many decisions. And no kidding, then of course we make some wrong ones, some horrible ones, some bad ones, some good ones, some average ones. If we had time to think about all the decisions we made, though, we would make quality decisions, face less consequences of stupid actions that were not thought about, right? I keep getting sidetracked on recording this just point that I want to make that I thought about earlier. And it's that manifestation doesn't work. You can manifest all you want. That is not going to make your dreams come true. You can't manifest anything. So we can't manifest our dreams. We can manufacture our dreams. See, that requires taking action, making something happen, making a plan, and getting it done. I'm working on a video. I'm making a video right now. This is more of a vlog. I'm working on another video in my how to keep it simple and and live a happy and healthier life for men like you and men like me. After taking some time to take the lake in, I'm going to make a video called How to Be a Man with Standards. 5 ways to live a happier and healthier life with personal standards. Sounds like a good one. Been doing a lot of thinking, about the topics. And more about how do I personally relate, the advice so it's more relatable for everyone. A lot of what I'm doing is it's just as much for me, really, as it is for you. I'm reminding myself, I'm constantly trying to remind myself how to be the best man that I can. Thank you, Dad. I love you. I finally remembered it. It's do not manifest, meditate. And right when you're done meditating, get up and make it happen. Do something about it. You manifest all you want and sit there and stare in the mirror. It's helpful at first. Tell yourself, I can do it. I'm gonna do it. But you after you do that, you have to get up and you have to go do it. So manifest for a second in the mirror. Meditate on that. Right when you're done, make it happen. Make your dreams come true. It really could be that simple.
Not sure what that is. It's obviously not natural to some kind of old structure. Go check it out. Got up here. Certainly man-made structure. Pretty rough log cabin. I don't even see a door to it. But I like the bones. It's a fixer-upper. Definitely I don't know. Ain't no floor in there. I don't know why this is right here. Got another cabin. Got a door right there. I can see this one. I like it. Got something else up here too. Look at this one.
Commodore Camp. Perched above 10,500 feet, this is a place known as one of the state's hardest-to-reach ghost towns. Imagine a community carved out of this unforgiving landscape in the late 1890s, fueled by the dream of striking it rich with gold.
Wow. I could move in. Oh, check this out. Look, guys. It is so important when you're around nature to leave no trace. And I mean personally, okay? Leave no trace. But more than that, you see trash anywhere, you see a mess, pick it up. Got a whole neighborhood here.
Today, the weathered remains of log structures stand as a testament to the optimism and the harsh realities of life in this remote corner of Colorado.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into, well, a really gripping story of pushing limits. It comes from Shane Ramsey, a video creator you might know from his YouTube channel, Shane Ramsey Makes Videos.
Yeah, he does some great stuff. Travel, history explorations, personal growth. Really interesting mix.
Absolutely. And we're focusing today on his latest video. It's called Hiking to Lake Como. And let me tell you, it's quite the journey.
It really is. More than just a scenic hike, it's a real testament to how quickly things can change out there, especially in the mountains, and what you find in yourself when they do.
Definitely. And this Lake Como hike, it's actually part of a bigger series he's doing, right? A whole camping and hiking road trip.
That's right. Sounds pretty epic, actually. He kicked it off at Black Mesa in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, Black Mesa, that's the highest point there, isn't it? Around what? Nearly 5,000 feet?
Yeah, just about 4,973 feet. So a decent start elevation-wise. Then he headed over to Colorado to Zapata Falls.
Oh, near Great Sand Dunes. I've heard of that. So
Mhm.
he was there in March.
Mid-March, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Zapata Falls could easily have been frozen solid then. It sits right at the base of Ellingwood Point Peak, which is like over 14,000 feet. Pretty dramatic setting.
Wow, a frozen waterfall next to giant sand dunes. That's quite a contrast.
Definitely. And after that, he did some camping, had what he called a practice hike around sunset. Probably smart, getting used to the altitude before the main event.
Good call. Which brings us to this Lake Como hike, mid-March, Colorado high country. What were the conditions like when he started? The video makes it look okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. It started out looking pretty good. He mentioned a fairly clear sky, just some light snow on the ground, the kind that looks pretty.
Right, scenic snow, not threatening snow. So he starts heading up.
Exactly. The ascent begins, weather seems fine. But then, maybe a few miles in, he reaches this place called Commodore Camp.
Commodore Camp, what's that?
It's a ghost town, basically. Way up there, above 10,500 feet from the 1890s mining boom.
10,500 feet, that's high for a settlement. Must have been tough getting supplies up there.
Incredibly difficult, apparently. But gold fever.
Yeah.
They found gold nuggets, supposedly as large as wheat kernels, in a raspberry patch, of all places.
No way! In a raspberry patch, that's wild.
Isn't it? So boom, 2 camps spring up. They even had a post office for a short while. Classic mining story.
Now it's just ruins.
Pretty much. Weathered log cabins, remnants. You can see them in his video. It's kind of haunting. Gives you pause.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
A bit of history right there on the trail. So he hikes past Commodore Camp and then things change.
Uh-huh. The light scenic snow starts picking up. It gets heavier.
Yeah.
And then, bam, a critical moment.
What happened?
His phone dies. Just completely runs out of...
That's bad, especially up there.
Yeah, really bad. Because suddenly he's lost his main navigation tool. And he can't film with his primary Canon anymore.
So no GPS map, potentially no way to call for help if needed.
Exactly.
Right.
He did mention he still had his Insta360 camera, like a small 360 cam. So he figured he could maybe still get some footage of the lake itself, if he made it. But the main filming, the navigation, gone
That just ramps up the stakes immediately, doesn't it?
hugely. And the weather wasn't helping. He describes it going from that scenic snow to just full-on winter.
Full on winter. And how long had he been hiking at this point?
About 6 hours in, he says. And by then, every single step was becoming a struggle against the snow, which was just piling up.
6 hours. And the snow's getting deep. Did he have the right gear for that?
Well, that's the other thing. He admits he was kind of underprepared for that much snow. No waterproof pants, which is tough when you're wading through deep stuff.
Oof, yeah. Wet legs in the cold. No fun.
And no boot spikes or micro spikes, for traction on potentially icy patches under the snow.
Right. Slippery conditions.
And the kicker, he realized he'd forgotten the charging cable for his external battery pack.
So he had a backup battery, but couldn't actually use it to charge the phone.
Exactly. Just a simple oversight, but with massive consequences in that situation.
Man, it's easy to do, forgetting one little cable, but wow. So conditions worsening, phone dead, not fully geared up. Did he think about turning back?
You'd think so, but he was still determined to reach the lake. Even though, the idea of this beautiful, clear alpine lake was probably fading, it was more likely going to be frozen and snow-covered.
So what kept him going?
He actually mentions that finding Commodore Camp, that piece of history, kind of fueled his curiosity. It added another layer to the quest beyond just bagging the lake.
Interesting. Like the journey itself, the discoveries along the way became part of the motivation.
Yeah, I think so. But the mountain wasn't making it easy. The snow kept coming down. First shin deep, then knee deep.
Knee deep snow. That just slows you down incredibly.
And the trail, completely gone, obliterated.
He said he was trying to follow some faint footprints from someone who had been there earlier. Maybe.
Maybe. So he wasn't even sure if the footprints were going the right way? Exactly. Total uncertainty. Just plunging ahead, hoping for the best, relying on these disappearing tracks.
That sounds mentally exhausting on top of the physical effort.
Oh, absolutely. And then he hit the snowdrifts.
Drifts. How bad?
He described them as chest high in places. Just massive piles of snow blown by the wind.
Chest high. How do you even get through that?
With immense difficulty. He talked about just having to kind of like bulldoze through them, falling constantly, getting completely soaked, icy slush getting inside his boots.
Ugh, that's when it gets really dangerous, getting wet like that. Hypothermia risk goes way up.
For sure. He must have been freezing and completely alone out there, just surrounded by white.
The isolation must have been intense.
Yeah, he mentions that sense of solitude.
Yeah.
But he also talks about this internal mantra he started repeating. Keep moving, one step in front of the other, move forward no matter what.
Just focusing on the next step, breaking it down.
Pretty much a survival mechanism, really. And he started thinking about past challenges he'd overcome.
Like what?
Well, he's apparently survived some serious stuff. A head-on car collision, a motorcycle crash involving a wild boar.
A wild boar? Seriously?
Yeah. Sounds intense. Broken bones, metal plates, the works. Plus, he manages type 1 diabetes daily, which adds its own complexity to endurance activities.
Wow. Okay, so this guy has faced adversity before. Big time.
Seems like it. He frames it as part of his love for life, this drive to test his limits.
Mm.
Maybe those past experiences gave him a kind of resilience, a knowledge that he could push through immense difficulty.
That makes sense. Knowing you've survived tough things before might give you the mental edge to keep going when things get really, really bad.
Right. But time was becoming a major factor too. Daylight was fading.
And he's still high up, above 10,000 feet.
Yep. He knew he absolutely had to get below that elevation before dark. Being caught out there in that snow overnight, that's a life-threatening scenario.
The urgency must have been palpable.
And then, probably the scariest moment he describes, traversing one of those huge drifts, he fell, face first,
Oh,
and got completely buried, just swallowed by the snowdrift,
buried, like under the snow.
totally submerged. He said there was initial panic, which you can absolutely understand. Then this weird moment of dark humor, like, really, this is happening.
I can't even imagine. How did he get out?
It took him over 30 minutes. 30 minutes of struggling, digging, fighting his way back to the surface. He said he was utterly exhausted after that.
30 minutes buried in snow after everything else.
Yeah. And that was the point, he says, where he seriously considered turning back. It was the closest he came to quitting.
I don't blame him. That sounds horrific. Why didn't he?
He talks about this internal battle. But ultimately, the feeling that turning back would mean all that effort, all that suffering was for nothing. It was too strong. And maybe it just wasn't in his nature to quit when he was that invested.
That sunk cost fallacy, almost, but combined with sheer willpower.
Something like that. A refusal to be beaten, maybe.
Yeah.
So he pushed on. The final stretch.
More snowdrifts.
Yep. More brutal, exhausting work. He described becoming very methodical, using his trekking poles constantly to probe the snow ahead, checking the depth, the stability before every single step.
Slow, deliberate progress. Conserving energy, staying focused.
Exactly. And then, finally, he saw it. Through the snow, this huge white expanse.
Lake Como.
Lake Como. Frozen solid, covered in snow, but definitely the lake. He even recognized the specific boulder near the shore from a picture he'd seen beforehand. That confirmed it. He'd made it.
Wow. After all that, just getting there must have felt monumental.
Absolutely. A huge moment of relief and accomplishment, I imagine, even if it wasn't the picturesque scene he might have hoped for months earlier.
Did he stay long?
Not really. Just long enough to quickly rehydrate some beef stroganoff for energy desperately needed, I'm sure, and capture the scene with that Insta360. Get proof.
Gotta get the shot. And then the descent, which can be just as hard, right? Especially exhausted and in fading light.
Oh, yeah. The descent had its own challenges. The light was going fast, creating eerie shadows, making navigation tricky. The snow was soft, wet, treacherous underfoot now.
And he was running on fumes, basically.
Completely. He said the exhaustion was immense, but it also drove him to move as fast as he safely could.
Yeah.
Just desperate to get below 10,000 feet, below the really deep snow, before total darkness.
A race against time and exhaustion.
Pretty much. He made it down, obviously. But he reflected on how the whole experience transformed. It wasn't just a hike anymore. It was an epic battle against the weather, against his own limits.
A real testament to his will, it sounds like.
Definitely. It's a powerful story about finding strength you didn't know you had when you're really, truly tested by the elements.
It really is. And honestly, hearing about it is one thing, but you really should see it. We absolutely recommend checking out the video. Hiking to Lake Como over on his channel, Shane Ramsey makes videos.
Yeah, seeing the snow, the landscape, hearing him narrate it adds a whole other dimension. You get a much better sense of what he was up against.
For sure. And remember, this crazy hike is just one piece of this bigger road trip he's documenting.
That's right. Don't forget the whole journey. It started way back at Black Mesa in Oklahoma. Highest point there, just under 5,000 feet. He did an 8-mile hike there too.
Right. And his video from Black Mesa kind of reveals his mindset, doesn't it?
Yeah, he talks about his hobbies, hiking, riding, learning music, and needing that alone time to recharge and reflect.
He has that philosophy too, that just get up and go idea.
Life is simple. Dream it. Do it. Yeah, I remember that line. This whole trip feels like that philosophy in action.
Totally. And after Black Mesa came Zapata Falls. He got footage of it frozen.
Looks like it, yeah. Short hike there, then the sunset hike we mentioned, kind of climatizing, and then Lake Como.
And the trip's still going.
He mentioned he's heading to some hot mineral springs next.
Oh, really?
Probably well-deserved.
Definitely. And then exploring Bandelier National Monument in Mexico, looks like, for his Ancient America series. Lots of history there.
So yeah, lots more to come.
Yeah, it shows the breadth of his interests. It's not just about bagging peaks, it's culture, history, nature, a real mix.
Driven by curiosity, it seems.
And wanting to share it. It all feeds back into his YouTube channel. He wants to make videos that are entertaining, but also informative.
He started that new series too, hasn't he? Advice for men on living happier, healthier lives.
Yeah, and videos on finding hobbies, being alone. Seems like he's exploring different ways to connect and share insights. Oh, and he uses AI music for his videos.
Yeah, interesting tech angle there.
So these trips aren't just personal challenges for him. They're content, creative outlets, ways to connect. He's basically inviting people along for the ride.
If you find his story compelling, you should definitely subscribe to Shane Ramsey Makes Videos to follow along with the rest of that trip.
It really makes you stop and think, though, doesn't it? About your own limits.
Yeah. What happens when things go sideways unexpectedly? What do you draw on? Shane's hike is a pretty extreme example, but it shows how facing down those challenges, even the ones we don't choose, can teach us a lot.